carbon cycle. And so I deleted it and got rid of it off the street. All right. Let's see, energy efficiency, heat, good. Ecological efficiency. So let's look at this. This is one of the ones that I saw a lot of the same thing, is whether or not it was ecological or energy efficiency. I think on a free response, you'd probably get credit for either. But on a multiple choice, they're probably going to use one of the actual term. So this was ecological efficiency, although it is talking about energy. All right, this one, you are choosing a multiple choice option. And let's see, I see 14 of you so far, 16. And I'll show you, because this looks good, and this tells me when to move on and when we shouldn't move on. Okay, so as you can see, you guys are overwhelmingly getting that right, for the most part. All right, so we are doing that kind of 10%, only 10% is available now for this next trophic level. All right, so matter cycles through our biosphere. This one just says, I think something like, name 2 of these human impacts on the water cycle. I'm not so worried that you don't know these terms, but one of the focuses for all these cycles is how are humans impacting these cycles. So I see a lot of you giving me the evaporation, that's fine, and transpiration, and then be prepared to know how humans impact these. I'm gonna show you guys again. All right, so again, deforestation when we're not holding in the soil and the water, paving roads makes impermeable surfaces, right? So all of these diverting the water through dams, all of that are human impacts. There is another feature coming up here I want you to mess with. Let's do this one first. So this takes carbon dioxide and incorporates it into tissues. Some is returned when they respire and die. And then some carbon dioxide combines with calcium. And then this calcium carbonate is buried in what type of rock? And then extracting fossil fuels and this into the atmosphere of soil and ash. These are all parts of your carbon cycle. The Pear Deck link, let me see, it is, if you, see if I can copy and paste it again. Oh, thank you, Tyler. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying. Photosynthesis, sedimentary, combustion, limestone. Okay. All right. So the answers were photosynthesis, which most of you got. And some of you got this limestone and sedimentary rock. And what was the last one? Oh, the last one was about combustion. All right, this is where I misspoke yesterday. So this is a dragging feature. Drag the red flag next to the largest carbon reservoir in this cycle, meaning if there were numbers on this, which I wish there were, your textbook doesn't put numbers on them, but I guarantee that that's kind of the format that the AP exam will have. They'll have numbers on here, and they will be both on the arrows for flux and change and rates of change, and on how much is in any particular part of the cycle. So one of the things you should know is where is the largest amount being stored. Where is the pool or reservoir for that? So you take the flag and drag it to wherever you think it should go. And I will show you, this is one feature I actually really do like for the cycles. Because what we can do is let you drag them around and fix them. So if we're seeing a misconception, like I'm seeing them everywhere, right? We are going to want to make sure that the number one ends up in our rock and sediments. So carbon in the greatest amount is in your rocks and sediments. And then secondly, it's in your oceans. But there's the thing I put in the stream today to first and third period, I don't know if I did in second, is the, right, 50 times more carbon is being stored in our oceans than in our atmosphere. Now, although we are increasing the rate going into our atmosphere, the actual amount doesn't compare. And so what I did was put on the next slide, I wanted to show you guys a example of the kind of slide that is a much better study slide that you should have somewhere. And it's just showing you again, and this is another feature that I was messing with. So go ahead and see if you can do this. Circle the largest area of flux or changes. So where's the rate? Where's the carbon movement happening? So hint, you're looking for purple writing versus storage, which are your pools and reservoirs. So this is kind of where you look for these numbers, and you can notice that we have a lot in our ocean being stored in these sediments and rock. But the flux is what's on these arrows. So where is the flux? Oh, you guys, some of you are circling. I'm waiting for some of you to mess around with this feature and see if you can annotate and draw things. So go and look for where the flux number is the largest. So find the purple numbers on the arrows themselves. Good, and let's see what, I don't know what this is going to end up looking like. I don't see how that shows me all of you, but unless nobody's responding on this one. So we're looking for these numbers on the arrows of change happening and movement happening and how much is moving. Okay. All right. So this is one of the big ones that's fluxing from the atmosphere into the ocean. All right, that is it for messing around on Pear Deck. I'm going to exit out of here. And what I need you to do is rename yourselves. So that your name has the number of your Google slide. So there's a couple tasks today for our composting. You're going to decide today on who your rubric reviewer is. So which person in your group is going to be the first person to practice screen sharing. They are going to come down to the stream here and open up this thing that says Design Engineering Rubric and go through it with their team in the breakout rooms about how you'll be scored on your final sketches. A heat map. Yes, maybe somebody could make that. All right. So number one, figure out who's going to be your rubric reviewer and put it on your Google slide. I know some groups have already done something like this. And then two, go through the rubric. And three, start letting other team members share their screen of different design ideas. Even if you have it on your Google Doc already, just practice that skill of screen sharing or discussing your different designs. Right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just monitoring the chat. So I want you to have at least 20 minutes with your group, and so that I can see everybody show up on the edit history and everybody have a chance to discuss a sketch. So I wanted to also clarify that what we're trying to do now that you've had a chance to kind of brainstorm different ideas. So I'm gonna just go look for the composting link and click on it. Then you can go see. Plus I changed it because I deleted a bunch of blank ones. So it's right here in your stream page. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right page. I am not. There we go. Yes, it is different because I deleted a bunch of blank ones, so I didn't have to keep scrolling through them. I like that. Control F and for finding your name. All right, room 1. I know I was in the middle of telling you guys something. I'll have to get back to what that was. Is going to be Jesse, Lorelei, Mina, and Audrey. Room 2 is going to be Luke, Mia, Tyler. Room 3, Laura, Savannah, Shivan, and Isla. Room 4, Emilio, Jason, Heather, and Maddie. Room 5, oh, I know, I was clarifying Man and Arab. That the idea now is to come up with a design that everyone in your team, some of the numbers are changing suddenly, that everyone on your team thinks they can build from home that's similar, so that you are able, after you build them, to compare between each other. So the idea here is all of you agreeing on a design that obviously will have to be modified and changed because that always happens, but that you'll decide as a team then to change one thing about it between each of you. So whether that's moisture levels or the temperature or how much brown versus green or whatever you're putting in it, or are you going to do hot composting or red worms, but so that each one of you will change it just slightly, but everything else will remain the same, including the design and setup. So I can't talk and put you in room, sorry, I'm not that coordinated. So room 7. Room 8 is Jason and Thomas. And if I don't open or put you in a room, I will fix that as soon as I get the rest of these up. Why can't I? And Ashley, I see you're 18. Okay, so I'll have to move a couple of you here in a second. But any questions once the rooms are open, what we are doing. Rubric reviewer shares the rubric, discuss the designs that you think your entire team can build. So each one of you is going to have a compost system going. Okay, I'm going to open the rooms and then move a couple of you. Ashley has moved room 7. Okay. Ryan, you are group 5, room 5. And Luca and Gavin, you guys are in room 8. And then Arab, did you get put in the wrong spot? Where are you supposed to be? You're supposed to be at 13. Okay, which is room 2. And Thomas Martinez, are you at the right group? That says Jason, Gavin, and Luca, and you.
I was put it wrong.
Vincent, you are 19. So you are room 6. Where are you?
This is Roberts. Me, Josh, and John all got put into different groups.
Let me see. So, John is put into room 19. Okay, let me get back here. All right, Thomas, so where are you supposed to be? And I will move you there.
I guess, with Luca, Gavin, and Jason.
Luca, Gavin, and Jason. And you guys are all in room 8 together, according to my computer. You're the only one.
8? Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, and Leo, who are you supposed to be with?
Supposed to be with Josh and John. So Josh is in room 9 right now, but John got put into room 19.
So I will go move John into room 9.
Okay, thank you.
And that leaves Addith. Where are you supposed to be?
Me and Vincent are supposed to be in the same room as Ryan and Yun.
Okay, I see. I put you in 5 and 6. Okay, I'll put you back. I'll put both of you in 5.
Okay, thank you.
I already pressed it.
Okay.
All right.
Where's the rubric that we need to find for the reviewer?
So go to the stream page. It's like in a bunch of places, but stream page is easiest. So if you look at today's attachments.
Oh, yep. Okay, the design engineering rubric.
Yep.
All right. Leo, it's on the.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys have any other questions?
Nope.
Nope.
that's it.
That was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Just
do
spam.
y'all?
Oh,
Oh, hi.
Hi,
Hello. We have
We're trying to.
go ahead.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out what to do because we think that using a milk jug would be the best because it's something that we can all cheaply get. But then other than that, our materials would be different, and so we aren't really sure. Also, we were confused on how we would measure either the effectiveness of the compost or the how quickly it turns into compost.
Those are all
So
great,
yeah.
yeah, those are all great questions, and those are all things that your team's going to eventually find out. But all you have to worry about right now is what is your actual compost going to go in. So if a milk jug is something you know your entire team can put things into, that will work. You just all have to agree on that part of it before you start worrying about what goes inside of it.
Okay. So we don't have like a question yet. Like, is that something we need to decide?
If you guys all once you have decided like what your compost container is going to look like, then yeah, go ahead and move on to the question you might ask. But you also need to think through like how are you going to get air into your system? How are you going to, get moisture? So even though you might
Yeah.
decide on a milk jug, right, you're still going to have to think through the different things that you're going to have to do to make your compost healthy.
Yeah. Isn't it going to be kind of hard to like, I guess, control that because we're all at different places and like
Yeah, you'll have to be very specific and detailed with each other, just like a real procedure.
So, like something like, for example, like our question could be, how does different moisture levels affect the effectiveness of your compost? Like, could that be a question that we ask?
Yep.
Yeah. Would we like, because everything else has to be the same. Is there a way to like control the materials that go in there? Because, not everybody's gonna have the same food scraps. Not everybody's gonna have the same type of dirt. It's all gonna be very different. I don't know if that's like something.
Yeah, so that's something your group will have to talk about is how can you, maybe you guys can all agree on something like, okay, we're only going to put our coffee grounds and our apple cores, whatever it is. If your question is about moisture, then your group's going to have to figure out how will you control for those things that you're going to put in there.
Okay.
But those are all good problems and questions to ask.
Okay.
Would we? Another question was for moisture levels. Of course, we could change how much water we put in and how often we put water in. But other than that, wouldn't we have to measure moisture just because there's moisture in the air and that differs between placement?
That would be best, but with our situation that we have and the ability to do that, I would worry more about how you will measure the moisture in your actual compost.
How would we measure the moisture in that compost?
That's a good question. So I highly recommend you talk to some of the upperclassmen who have struggled through this before, because I want to see you guys do that, communicate and collaborate and ask them, because I guarantee that this is one of the variables that some groups in the past have looked at.
I can ask a senior I'm meeting with tonight for robotics if you guys want. I'll text you what happens.
Yeah. That sounds good.
You guys good? I'm gonna go grab get your Kahoot or quizzes game ready. So
Sounds good.
I think that was all our questions. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everyone. As you get back, if you could get on to joinmyquiz.com, we are going to take a look at how we're doing on our nutrient cycles. Also, I think it's Leo's group. There's a group that's supposed to be arranging to get aquarium stuff from me. And I don't know, because I didn't have you, but Miss Abe probably talked to you because she emailed me yesterday of where we're at with that. So let me know, because I will not be around after Thursday to run to the school. I can run to the school today. And I know I left you the greenhouses unlocked for the aquarium stuff, but I'd like to lock them back up because I don't actually trust people. We've had theft there before. Also, if you're struggling with supplies and things like that, I'm more than happy to meet your group. There's all, like I said, all sorts of buckets and tons of composting stuff just left in the greenhouse. So that's also available for those of you that are staying winter break, for example. Let's say you all want 5-gallon buckets. There's probably 40 of those available. Of course, they will have dried out compost from last year, but that might be useful as well. All right, let's do it. I see 22 of you, which means I am missing 8 of you. So another minute, please get onto Quiz Is, and we are going to do a quick learning check. Some of you have figured this out. I'm always surprised that more of you aren't taking advantage of getting back test points and assessment points by doing these and showing me your 100% as a screenshot, or just sharing it. There's a couple different ways that you can share that with me on Google Classroom or through email. So take advantage of that. I know some of you have, but those I put under optional, under classwork tab on Google Classroom. I also hyperlink them to the week at a glance so that you can practice these at any time. All right, we're going to get started because that's 28 of you. Maybe. There we go. Uh-oh, favorite student, you gotta get up there. Lorelai, one of the things you can try is just to play it separately. See if it works. If you can just click on it off of the stream page or off of the week at a glance. And John, no. John just asked if we choose a design, do we remove the other ones? Definitely not. My its main goal is to see process and changes and fixes. So always leave all of the brainstorming and all of the different discussions on there. No, I meant like right now, you can try it yourself, Lorelai. Okay, one more minute, and I'm going to talk to you about some stuff on your Google Docs. Composting. Shiv and cheated. That's not very nice. Keep it up, Isla. She's got to answer one more. Ooh, it was a close one. I'll write these down. Let's see. All right, we are going to go ahead and end so I can record this and talk to you about your Google Docs. Good. All right. So just a reminder, when I'm checking off your project points on the Google Docs and I'm looking at these screens, what I do is I just click on these. Who should I pick on? Let's pick on this group. And then I will go to their hyperlink. Well, first of all, I'm going to look to see who's the rubric recorder. So they will add that to their main slide. And then I will click on their actual document. And then I will go up here and I will look at their edits. And what I'm looking for is on days like this, that they all show up on November 24th. So someone other than Vivian, I should see everyone in her team show up today. Okay, so just so you're aware of how, I don't know what you would call that, detailed I am about projects and how passionate I am about you working together. This is what I do to look at how each one of you is contributing. So please make sure on these days that I dedicate to the projects that you show up on the edit history, okay? Any questions on that? We only have a minute left. Yesterday, you were on demand, so you should have done your first math type question. So whenever I assign a question number 2, 2 is always a data analysis math question where you're asked to do some sort of conversion, multiplication, percentage, something. And they tend to be more difficult for students. So yesterday was our first practice with that in 2014. And then you have 2 assessments, other assessments. So a 7-question Google form and a practice exam on multiple choice. We are out of time. So Joshua's never won anything in his life. I'm sure you have. All right. You guys be safe, stay healthy, wear your masks. Oh, thank you. Tyler is excellent at this, reminding